This is Carol of Star Matriarch, and you are listening to Grit City Punk.
Jiggle Down Productions.
Hello, greetings, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It's Grit City Punk, Tacoma's underground music and variety show, focusing on, you know what, hardcore and punk, DIY scenes in the PNW. I'm Jeremy, I'm your host. Welcome back. Got a great show for you today. I'm interviewing Carol from Star Matriarch. Honestly, I'd probably say this every time, but this has been one of my favorite interviews. So peep that. That's in a bit. I got a ton of new music to get through. A bunch of show announcements coming up. A special Grit City Punk announcement. Be hitting that later. Went to a DIY show in Seattle. It was Sweethearts Productions' Alien show. Originally at Cal Anderson. They moved it to Magnuson Park. Honestly, good move. Thought the venue was great. Beautiful view. Really chill. There's Aaron Gooby and the Zips, Faith and Strangers, Veneer, and the always awesome Rat Utopia experiment to cap off the night. Things had to wrap up a little earlier than expected because of the park closing. Sets were cut a little short, but all in all, it was a great night. Lots of fun with lots of cool people, great bands, great sets. So thank you, Lilith from Sweethearts Productions for putting that show on. Thanks to the bands. It was a lot of fun. And let's just get to the new music because that's what you're here for. You're not here to hear me talk, are you? You're here to hear the music and the interview. So peep that after the new music. Have you ever listened to Chapel Roan and just thought to yourself, hey, I wonder what this would sound like if it was covered by a Midwest emo band? Well, apparently the fellas in Margaret's Sick thought the same thing, and they acted on it. They recorded a studio version of Red Wine Supernova from Chapel Roan. You thought it couldn't happen. You thought it couldn't be done. They've done it. Check it out.
He was a playboy, Bridget Bardot. He showed me things I didn't know. He did it right there, out on the deck. Put his canine teeth in the side of my neck. I'm in the hallway waiting for you. Mini skirt and my go-go boots. I just want you to make a move. So slow down, sit down, it's new. I just wanna get to know you. I guess I didn't quite think it through. Girl. Fell in love with the thought of you. And now I'm choked up, face down, burnt out. Baby, why don't you come over? Red wine supernova, fall right into me. Let's pick it up now. I don't care that you're a stoner. Red wine supernova, fall right into me. I like what you like. Long hair, hot box, my type. That's right. You just told me, want me to fuck you. Baby, I will, 'cause I really want. I just wanna get to know you. Guess I didn't quite think it through. Girl. Fell in love with the thought of you. Now I'm choked up, face down, burnt out. Why don't you come over? Red wine supernova, fall right into me. Let's be on now. I don't care that you're a stoner. some roommates. Don't worry, we're cool. I heard you like magic. I got a wand and a rabbit. Well, baby, let's get freaky. Let's make this bed get squeaky. Ow!
Okay, here's the deal. I heard about 1876 a while ago. Never really got around to listening to him. Just, how some things you put at the top of your Apple library and then it gets buried before you get a chance to listen to it. That's what happened. Until they dropped Pow Wow Punk Rock Part 4. I did a little bit of catching up. And holy shit, my friends, 1876 is a banger of a band. This EP does not disappoint. Every song, kind of a different subgenre. You've got ska punk. You've got straight up like melodic skate punk. You've got some more reggae influenced stuff. You've got, tons of indigenous instruments, drumming, the singing, and it all meshes together into just this beautiful, beautiful celebration of community, tradition, punk rock, and rebellion. And 1876 is kind of a hard band to pin down. I will go out on a limb and call them folk punk. Maybe that's not as big of a limb as I'm thinking, but they are really folk artists in the truest sense of the word, where they're using instruments and melodies and traditions from their own culture, their own indigenous culture, and mixing it with more ubiquitous and modern musical styles. And they're using melodies and interpolations of melodies that sound familiar to, standard like pop music. Like each one of these songs, like there's things about it that sound familiar, but it doesn't sound like it's retreading anything. It's all new, but you could hear, like, there's some lines from the specials in one of the songs. They say, this town is coming like a ghost town, and message to you, Rudy. So that's interpolated into the music, as well as, now I may be wrong in this, but I thought I heard a little bit of Hotel California in the opening track. Maybe I'm stretching on that a little bit, but like in the folk tradition of writing songs and performing pieces, you're drawing from what's come before and what people have done, and you're making things that are simultaneously familiar and brand new and exciting. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I really am becoming a huge fan of this band. Next time they're in Tacoma or maybe even Seattle, you better bet I'm gonna have my ass at that show. And if you are not listening to this, you need to go listen to it. And I'm going to play a song from the new Pow Wow Punk Rock Volume 4. I couldn't figure out which song to play because they're all really good. And They all show a different side of the band, but I went with Lights, which I think was the first single from this EP, because I feel like that's just kind of the most introductory track, maybe, to this project. I don't know. Go check out the whole EP. Check out their whole discography. Go support them on Bandcamp. Go see them if you get a chance to. And check out those new Air Mocs that they were pushing. Holy shit, those are sweet for all you sneakerheads out there. So anyways, this is Lights from 1876.
Take a breath and hold it in, and feel myself cease to exist. The stars above have left their home and branded on my skin. Now I'm lost with the horizon, and there's darkness again. Trust these lights with my life to guide me to the end. Should I close my eyes? Should I close my eyes and let go? Who's calling my name? Have I outrun the echoes? Am I no more the colors defining what's
All right, this next one is an interesting piece. It's a collaboration from Regana out of Olympia and Drowse out of Portland. It's a song called In Eternal Woods from an upcoming project called Ash Souvenir. Promo for this project from Regana says, In Eternal Woods is a song cycle about loss and memory and love. It's about sacred places, benevolent ancestors. It's me standing in the sunlit woods surrounding my grandma Rasma's rural Washington cabin, feeling her spirit and everything. My childhood summers was spent in my grandma's magical presence, listening to her stories, hunting for chanterelles, singing Latvian folk songs, and playing in the forest. Now, the whole project is dealing a lot with themes of 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption, just kind of the local geography and history, and I'm saying a lot about this. I'm saying a lot of what other people have said about this, but it's really good. This is a 6-minute piece. It's actually In Eternal Woods Part 2 and 3. This is the single edit of it. The EP, it's going to be like, this big concept thing. I'm really looking forward to the full project. I think it's going to be really cool. So check this out. This is a collab of Regana and Drowse. The song is called In Eternal Woods Parts 2 and 3. Next up is Tacoma's own The Mural project. They just dropped a new single called Consumer. It's out everywhere. Great short little punk emo song. Check it out.
Plastic cups are stacking up around me. Plastic's filling my dreams, and I couldn't be more happy. I rely on technology, I'm looking at screens for hours a day. I need technology and everything in between. I'm fucking Elon Musk tonight. His ass is feeling oh so tight, and I'm so glad for that. And I wanna use his holes for 24 hours of the day. 24 hours of the day. Oh, I wanna be a consumer. 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 All the clothes I'm wearing are made by child slaves, working 7 days a week until we put them in the grave. All these baby hands running the fashion industry, baby hands in the industry. Oh, I think that's so fucked up. But I think child slavery's alright when I'm benefiting something superficial and trite. Morality's so last season, your debate wrong or right. Well, I'm in new seasons. Just look at this fit I got on. It's fresh as fuck. Oh, I wanna be a consumer. 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 You gotta buy things. You gotta buy more things. It's the person who wants to make their own. I'm buying pizza right now. I'm buying everything on the
A great band out of Seattle called the Disorderlies. You should know them. They've been around for, literally like forever, at least like 10 years or something. They dropped 2 singles, Get Up and Join the Fools. Both great songs. Highly recommend listening to them both. I'm going to play the song Get Up. So this is brand new from the Disorderlies. Highly recommend checking them out. Go see them if you can.
Can't get out of bed, I got nothing in my head. Every time I try to move, my feet feel full of red. Blankets all heavy and my mind feels weak. Battery is low, I got no energy. Screaming in my head, get up, get up, get up. Someday this will end, get up, get up, get up. I don't wanna stay
and switching gears from an established band to a basically brand new band. These guys are called Avail, and they just dropped their first single. It's called Delirium.
Have you pictured what this planet is going to be like in 40 to 50 years? It's going to be a big smoking ball of shit.
Zookraught. You know Zookraught. We talk about him all the time. I mean, how can you not talk about Zookraught all the time? Yet another single dropped by Zookraught. It's called Laughingstock. This is a great, great song. I love their approach to music, their approach to live performance, art, rebellion. Just everything about Zookraught screams, we are fucking punk and fuck you. I love this band so much. This is their new single. It's called Laughingstock.
Us can't properly define the word feed us.
and the hits keep coming. Bear with me. There's a lot. This is going to be a long episode, and I don't apologize. We're covering good stuff here. This is music journalism the way it's supposed to be. Uncensored, unfiltered, unrestrained. I'm going to tell you about all these songs and play them. There's like 10 or 11 songs that I'm playing for you here. And this is a lot. And you're going to hear a really long, really deep, involved interview. So trust me, bear with me. Next up, we have Kids on Fire, who are currently still out on tour, just absolutely killing it. Dropped another single. This one's called In My Head.
Rising, the haziness sets in. The alarm bells are ringing, no left who's listening. Eliminate hope and progress, so save this regime. Is this what we worked for, this American dream? In my head, back when I was younger then, was living that much better, or just a foggy lens? In my head, it's a mess up here again. Will there be anything else for these futures I lament?
Another pretty much brand new band. They're called Tumors. They're out of Seattle. Their bio says monster truck music. I don't know what that means, but I like this. I don't know if this is, I guess this is what monster truck music sounds like. I don't know what that means. The band is called Tumors. This is their first single. It's called So Hard.
So buy you too much 'cause I'm lonely. Kiss my ass and I'm gone. Kiss my ass and I'm gone. Kiss my ass and I'm gone 'cause I'm lonely. Kiss my ass and I'm gone. Kiss my ass and I'm gone. Kiss my ass and I'm gone 'cause I'm lonely. It's so hard to be alone with all your friends. It's so hard to be alone all by myself. And I hate myself.
And up next, Barnaby Jones. They're from Portland. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe you've seen them around. They play up here every so often. I've seen them up here. They just dropped a brand new single this past Friday. It's called Kill the President. And they shot a video for it as well, which is a great video. I'm sure they're going to catch heat for this. I might catch heat for playing it. I don't know. I don't care. This is a good fucking song. Barnaby fucking Jones is killing it right now. And their single just happened to drop the same day that Trump says he's going to unleash the fucking, I don't know what, military, National Guard, ICE, whatever, on quote-unquote war-ravaged Portland. Yeah, get fucked, my guy. Barnaby Jones, brand new song called Kill the President.
Hi. Did you know that it's illegal to say
We should kill the president. Label me a dissident. It's only American to wanna kill the president. Yo, we should kill the president. Label me a dissident. It's only American to wanna kill the president. This is how the world ends. He's killing all of my best friends. And I don't think I'll be content. So someone kill the president. I don't wanna believe it, but I think that it bears repeating. We should shoot a billionaire, film it, put it on the air, drag him by his Turkish hair. No one cares. We should shoot a billionaire.
they talk openly about killing us every day in their campaign ads, budget proposals, executive orders, and their rambling misspelled tweets? They revel in violence. Why should we?
Oh, hello, filthy, miserable dirt peasants. I can't seem to find my very impressive castle. Maybe you've seen.
We should kill the president. We should kill the president. Yeah, we should kill the president. We should kill the president. Yeah, we should kill the president. We should kill the president. Yeah, we should kill the president. We should kill the president. We should kill the president. Yeah, we should kill the president. We should kill the president. Yeah, we should kill the president. 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 We should kill the president.
Woo! All right, now we're going to end things on a little bit of a livelier note here with these new singles. Koala just dropped a live album. It's live at the Spanish Ballroom. This was recorded a few months back at, coincidentally enough, the Star Matriarch record release party at Spanish Ballroom. I myself was there. P&W Joey was there taking pictures. They used his pictures for the album cover, which is really cool. So they just put together a live album of the performance, which was emphasis on performance, because this was a weird band. Keenan, the front person of Koala, who also does sound at Real Art, coincidentally enough. I don't know if anybody else knew that. I didn't know that until recently. Playing acoustic guitar and a kazumpet. which is like a toy trumpet. Drummer slash washboard player Orion of the Drivers slash Anti-Summer was filling in on bass. Sybil Unrest was doing puppets and vocals. And yes, you heard me right, puppets. This was a punk rock puppet show, and it was quite the spectacle to see. I don't think that there's going to be a video version of this live album, but there are videos. I posted some on the Grit City Punk YouTube page. So go check those out, because yes, there was an entire puppet production along with this. It was an audio visual experience. So unfortunately you're only getting the audio right now, but go back and check the video I took. So this is Koala, and this is the song called Let Us Live.
We should. All right, this last song is called Just Let Us Live. It's a love letter to queer and other communities that we found through music.
This one's sentimental.
Oh, God, I'm going to suck at this first part.
No, you won't. You're going to do awesome. You're going to kill it.
so happy. And I'm Koala. This is Koala also. Thank you to everyone. Thanks to Aaron for doing stuff. We're going to run away. And one more. 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Hello, who are you?
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm Carol of Star Matriarch.
What do you do?
Well, I sing and I shout and I play guitar and drums, learning bass. I make music. I'm also a mom of 2 littles. I am a massage therapist, and I'm just trying to survive, keeping my little ones alive and untraumatized as much as I can.
So speaking of the singing and shouting and playing guitar, why do you do it?
Why do I do it? I just have to. It's like a weird internal drive where I have to make noise and hit things. Ever since I was a kid, I'd been vocalizing, singing even before I could talk. And I found out much later, very recently, that I'm autistic. I got diagnosed just last year, and that's a big part of it. Like my intense focus and obsession with this one thing, music, and not being able to pull away from it. So there's that. Gosh, like how can you not have some kind of creative outlet these days with the world being what it is? So it's how I'm surviving. It's how I nourish myself spiritually and so on,
Yeah, everybody's got to have something, and hitting things that are meant to be hit and shouting into microphones is a great way of surviving, of dealing.
Yeah, for sure.
So early on in the show, long ago, in the long ago times of Grit City Punk, you sent me a "What is Punk?" basically essay. It was very good. It was very well said, very well thought out, and bullet pointed. Is there anything you care to add to that, or anything that you view a little bit differently? Like, what is punk? What is the punk community? What is punk culture to you and the music scene?
To me, so I have been, ever since I became a mom, I've been like thinking a lot, like ruminating on our relationships to each other on this earth is like how to describe and understand our positionality in this world, like literally and figuratively and all of that. I've also, like pretty much all my life, been really, really obsessed with learning about people just because I've never really picked up, social norms and like how to relate to other people so naturally. So I've like almost academically tried to learn about people and humanity in that way. And so when I was a lot younger, to me, punk was the feeling of like being with other people who also have the same need to just like shout and express yourself in an unapologetic way, and to be with other people who need to do that with you,
Yeah.
And for me, going to shows and being with other people, really being into this band and feeling like this cathartic, this emotional release from like watching these awesome bands is like, expressing themselves in a way you wish you could. I eventually joined a band and yeah, so it's been like, I've been really ruminating on like the role of personal expression, but like specifically, there's something a lot more specific to it. I thought like punk isn't, to me, it isn't just, the desire to be loud and the desire to stand out and assert yourself. There's a component, there's like a deeply human component to it that sounds very trite when I say it out loud. Like there's like, the whole like caring about each other and love and humanity. And it sounds so corny, but the more I've thought about it, the more I realized, no, like that's it. Like, because My experience in the punk communities, and I didn't always have this understanding the whole time, but my experience in punk communities has always been like, supporting each other. Yes, there's the DIY thing to really, take ownership of your own work, and to not let like the powers that be take credit for your shit, or take, money that they didn't really earn, all that stuff. But essentially it's a lot of like communal healing and communal like care, even before I knew to appreciate it really well. Like punk was how I first learned about feminism and social inequities, even it took me a really long time to get it. I won't lie. In my 20s, it was like I was adjacent to those things, but didn't fully grasp injustice and all that, and like powers of systemic oppression and all that. But, still, I always felt held by the community, supported, even when I felt like I couldn't necessarily fit in, if that makes any sense. And so as an adult now, especially fast forward, all these decades, and like, I've also been on like a long personal healing journey. Part of that is understanding my relationship to people, and like, how do I view that? Like, I'd always been under this like weird impression that things are transactional, and I was very mathematical about it for a long time. But it wasn't until recently, becoming a parent and really thinking about what my family and I are getting from our neighbors, getting from the environment, getting from, whatever social structures, whatever structures are around us, that I really understood like the whole interconnectedness thing, and how we really have to rely on each other and support each other.
Right.
And part of that also is really, is doing what you can to resist all the things that get in the way of that. So I feel like even though I've had this like firm, belief in punk, it wasn't until I became a mom that I really felt like I could internalize it. Does that make any sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like the bigger picture of what it means to be a community member and have people around you, and like you said, the social structures around you, societal structures around you, that doesn't really get into perspective or into focus, at least not for me, and apparently you too, until you become a parent. You are now responsible for other people, not just yourself.
Right.
You are wholly 100% responsible for other humans.
Absolutely.
That depend on you. And so, yeah, it really shifts the whole perspective of everything.
Totally. And like, because the stakes are so much higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I was like, I wrote you that long, all right, I did that long explanation about it. Because it wasn't enough to just say, oh, it's about, sticking up for yourself. There's so much more at stake right now. And it's so much more like, it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's the hippie dream, but like fast forwarded to a point where we realize that they failed. They thought they fixed it, but they actually failed, and now here we are facing the same shit again.
Right.
But the punk community and the punk culture is stronger than the hippie culture and more willing to get dirty and dig down in the trenches and do the fucking thing.
Yeah, I felt like, I mean, just I'm not like super knowledgeable about hippie culture. Just like a surface impression of hippie culture, and just like the leftist anti-war movements of, oh no, you know what? No, I'm not going to pull that in. Just hippie. When I think of hippie, I'm thinking almost, yes, anti-war, but I'm also thinking almost like escapism.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's accurate, but that's my impression.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Whereas with punk, to me, has a more clear-eyed view of what's happening in front of you. Yeah. And there's like a radical acceptance of the truth, right? But there's also, and this is a phrase that I've learned fairly recently from an author I believe she's also like a trauma therapist, but her name is, Jennifer Mullins, I think. Yes, Dr. Jennifer Mullins. The term I learned from her is called sacred rage.
Okay.
And it comes from experiencing injustices through not just in your present life, but your ancestors also.
Mm-hmm.
It's this deep rage at the injustices that you and your ancestors have experienced and the desire to take action to do something about it. And it's rooted in love, right? It's rooted in love and caring about, yourself and caring about your community and your lineage and ancestors. And it comes out of a desire to make things right. And so how I would distinguish punk from hippies is that sacred rage.
Yeah. I would also say that like the hippie idea and culture was really idealistic.
Yeah.
Where punk is more grounded in reality. It's more of a realist kind of view.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and without sacrificing the ideals, right? Like having
right. The end goal is the same, but instead of just like, oh, if we, like the whole Woodstock thing, like, hey, maybe if we all think really hard about it, we could stop this rain, right? I mean, that's not how shit works,
Right.
Like you can't just have great ideas and a great moral compass and say, well, that's enough.
Right.
No, you have to do something about it. You have to face what is in front of you and not just say, well, if we wish hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like it's somehow sprinkle magic to make it
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only. Where are you from and how did you get here?
Where am I from? So I grew up in the Northern Virginia, Washington, DC area. So the other Washington.
Mm-hmm.
My family is from Vietnam. My parents are from Vietnam. My mom was one of the boat people. My dad, he defected from the South Vietnamese army. And when he was in the States for training, that was when he defected and he sought asylum here and just stayed here. And then they had me in Northern Virginia, in the Washington, D.C. area.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the whole like school age thing through college, high school, college in Northern Virginia. And then 2008, I met my then boyfriend, now spouse, who was in the Air Force, and he was PCS and McCord. And I was like, you know what? I need a change too. And so I'll follow you out here. We came out here 2010. He retired 2014, and we decided we just never want to leave here. We never want to leave.
It's the pull of that rainy climate.
You know what? I still don't really love the constant rain outside of the summertime. I don't love it, but I do love the more temperate, mild climate that it doesn't get too hot, too humid. Like DC summers are the worst, or not the worst, but they're pretty bad. They're super humid. They're super hot.
Yeah, a lot hotter and stickier than here.
Hot. Yeah. But yeah, that's like geographically speaking, that's where I've been and where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you a music student?
I was actually. I started off with choir in elementary school, and then I picked up flute, and I was absolutely obsessed with it to the point where my parents kept trying to bribe me to stop playing. I started playing flute in elementary school. I did the whole concert symphonic band, and in high school I did like marching band for the first 2 years. But then I started listening to Nirvana and started playing guitar, and then I quit. Mm-hmm. It was a combination. My parents wanted me to quit. I wasn't focusing on my academics as much. At some point I was kind of like, fine, I'll stop fighting you. But yeah, no, you know what? I'm making myself sound a lot cooler than, and I shouldn't say Nirvana was what made me stop, because before I got into Nirvana, I was into Oasis, which is kind of embarrassing.
Oh, Oh, okay. Oasis and then Nirvana.
Oasis, yeah, Oasis
Okay.
was my. Yeah,
At
that
least
was
you
really
redeemed
fun.
yourself a bit,
Like,
right?
before Oasis, it was like all show choir and like 60s girl groups and
Okay.
pop, Mariah Carey, you know, and whatever my parents listened to.
Well, you have
And
a
then-
background in 60s pop music. I mean, that's good. That's a good foundation
Yeah.
to have. The girl groups,
Phil Spector.
yeah, Phil Spector, that asshole.
Yeah,
But boy, he made some good fucking music.
I know. I hate that I love his production so much, but
I know.
that wall of sound. Yeah, that was actually the inspiration for one of the tracks on Red Ship. The lots of layers of sounds. But yeah, Oasis Oasis was my gateway drug.
Okay.
Sadly. And then from Oasis, I started listening to the Beatles, and then I started listening to Nirvana and Hole and Sonic Youth. And then I just wholly threw myself into Sonic Youth. I could not get enough.
Perfect.
Of Sonic Youth.
That is so validating for me to hear, because I love Sonic Youth with my whole heart. They were my favorite band through like middle school and most of high school.
Oh my God,
And
I love it.
I hardly ever meet anybody that likes them. Most people are like, "Oh, they suck."
Oh, whatever. It's
Yeah.
You know, are they a lot younger than you? Like the people who say that? Because I feel
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because I feel like that's,
okay, well, if you don't like Sonic Youth, I guarantee your favorite band, one of their favorite bands is Sonic Youth.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
are your favorite band's favorite band.
That was like I remember like we had a record store near where I live. It was like 50 minutes away. Record Convergence. So I would go there like almost as soon as I started driving or like made a friend who could drive, I would try to go there every week and try to find a used Sonic Youth CD. And then, yeah, I was just so obsessed. And then from Sonic Youth, I also got into like Babes in Toyland. I got into a lot of the Kill Rock Stars bands.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really latched me on was like the Riot Girl movement.
Yeah.
And then, I just went from there.
So what was your first Sonic Youth album?
My first Sonic Youth record was probably Experimental Jet Set or Goo.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got the one with Teenage Riot. Ah, shit.
Oh, Daydream Nation.
Daydream Nation. Yes.
My all-time favorite. All-time favorite.
That was my first one, Daydream
Okay.
Nation.
Okay. And what year was that?
What year did I get that?
Yeah,
That must have been like, I started, probably my sophomore or junior year of high school, which had to have been 96, 95, 96, somewhere, if I got the math right.
Okay.
And of course, that was way after that CD album actually came out.
Yeah, I think I first discovered Sonic Youth in maybe 91, 92, probably 91.
Yeah, it took me a lot longer to get cool. Like, you know.
You had to go through your Oasis.
I had to go through Oasis.
Yeah. I think it was either Dirty or Goo that was my first.
Oh,
but
I love Dirty.
Dirty is so good. But
it's so good. It was more rocky. Like, well,
it's got that Butch Vig production, which just makes it so huge.
Yeah. I go between really complex musical structures, from like really liking lots of complex stuff, really emotive stuff, you know, to the just straight up direct, like, you know, short like bursts of dopamine that's just like rock, you know, and that's what Dirty was to me, and it was just so satisfying to listen to.
Yeah, but then when you need the longer meandering musical things, you've got Daydream Nation.
Yep. God, I saw them a bunch of times too. I skipped school so many times to go to shows and to like sleep in the next day, and my parents were just too busy to care.
I never got to see them. When they played, I think it was Bumbershoot.
Oh.
In probably in like 95, 96.
That had to have been awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get to go, but a couple of my friends went, and they went and they had a tape recorder with them, and they bootlegged the Diamond Sea. And it was like over 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I wore that tape out. I listened to it so much.
I think they're more esoteric tracks or more like jammy tracks like that are so much
Yeah.
better live.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I listened to a lot of their concert performances. I don't know if you've ever gone to their Bandcamp page, but they have like
I have not.
you should. They've been pulling stuff out of the archives. Like they've got so many concerts uploaded on there, and
That's
they
good to
put them on.
know.
They press them on CD too, so you could buy the actual concerts.
I hate to say like I'm kind of one of those people, but after the Kim and Thurston breakup, I kind of stopped following them.
Yeah, yeah, that was ugly and heartbreaking. Really heartbreaking because I really idolized Thurston for my teenage years.
Yeah.
And luckily I was, far enough into adulthood to take that blow a little bit better, but I think I had moved on from Sonic Youth shortly after Washing Machine. I think the next album they put out after that,
A Thousand Leaves.
It was
the last one that I really.
Yeah, that was the last one I bought, and I was like, nah, yeah, I don't know. It's not really doing it for me anymore. I was really kind of moving on to more like listening to a lot of Bob Dylan and
Oh yeah.
just getting and like for like rock music, I really wanted something with a lot more edge and a lot more bite, and that just wasn't doing it for me.
I mean, people keep telling me that I should check out Rather Ripped. They said that people say that's a really good one. I know that's one that came after A Thousand Leaves. I love A Thousand Leaves though because there are two tracks that I really love on there.
Little Trouble Girl. Oh wait, no, that was on Washing Machine. My bad.
Yeah, Sunday for some reason. Like I put that on one of my trip playlists, my mushroom trip playlist. It's so satisfying that group and
those two albums, the Washing Machine and Thousand Leaves, both have like Kim's songs have a lot of that 60s girl group energy to it.
Yeah. I liked Washing Machine a lot too.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I thought it was weird because it felt like kind of constrained. Like I thought Experimental Jet Set was kind of constrained. Like after Dirty, it's like, whoa, this doesn't pack the same power behind it, but it had a lot more melody. And so it was just it was a weird shift that like it took me a little while to get used to it. But I think I like Washing Machine a lot more now than I did then.
I should check it out again. I haven't listened to Washing Machine in over 15 years. I bet it hits differently now.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, it hits a lot different for me.
But I did start listening to A Thousand Leaves again because I think that's after they had Coco. When they had after they had a kid. Yeah. And I remember Thurston talking about that in an interview, and I was like, I'll listen to it. And it is, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should check out the other ones sometime.
Yeah. You should go back and listen to Sister and Evil again.
Oh yeah. Sister was so good. So good. Evil, I don't think I spent enough time with it, but I loved Sister.
That one's a weird one, but it's got some really cool stuff on it. So this is going way off topic. This is not a Sonic Youth podcast. Although, funny story, I actually thought about starting a Sonic Youth podcast.
Oh, really?
Shortly after I started Grit City Punk. Maybe I still will sometime because there is nothing out there right now. Like nobody is going back.
They deserve it. Yeah.
They do. So this is an interview about you. This is a podcast about you. You were a music student. You played flute. You were in marching band. You did some choir. So how does that affect or inform your current work now, or even your earlier bands? How does that inform your music playing, like in the context of punk or rock music?
I think, I still love like musicals and stuff. Well, the musicals that I listened to then, I haven't kept up with any recent ones. People say that you are most attached to the music that you loved in your adolescence. Yeah. I still love the music to Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera and all that stuff. And that totally informs my, like, I guess my pop sensibility. Like my vocal lines are always very melodic. I love to sing. I love to yell, but I also love to sing. And so I just really love melody, like classic melody. And flute, I haven't gravitated towards as much recently, but it's still on Red Ship. A lot of that was recorded back in 2009, 2010, and I wanted to bring a lot of layers to them. Like we were just talking about the Phil Spector wall of sound thing, and I wanted lots of strings, and I wanted flute, and I wanted percussion, and so I played flute on that record on a few songs. Yeah, I don't know if it's like, now I'm working on some new stuff now, very slowly, and I don't feel like I want to grab it quite as much. But yeah, all of that is very stuck with me. I also really appreciated all the drumline stuff when I was in marching band. I wasn't playing drums yet then, but I really wanted to. I just, like, every time the drumline would come out and start the game, I would be like, oh my God.
That's powerful stuff.
Yeah. And this was before, I was so happy when that movie came out. And I know it was targeted towards like tweens. But I was so happy when that drumline movie came out. I was like, yay! I'm such a nerd for thinking that drumline was so awesome.
Hey, I love drumline. Like, I mean, my kids are out of school now, but actually me and my wife were talking about going to a football game anyways, just because, I mean, the football's fun to watch, but the freaking drumline is just awesome.
Yeah, it's badass. And it's very like, it's very, like they hit hard. I mean, they hit hard, and it's very angular. Am I using that word correctly in talking about drums?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think.
I get what you're saying.
You get it. It's kind of, it's mathy, but mathy in a way that feels like very satisfying. It's not like
it's using a lot of subdivisions that you don't get in most like pop music.
But it hits you in a really feel good way. It's not like I think I thought of angular because that's also why I gravitate to like I love Fugazi so much, and like it's Brendan Kenny's drums, and like I always think of drumline when I hear Brendan Kenny. I don't know why. I don't think he has any he ever did marching band from what I read, but I don't know why I associate the two.
So you mentioned going from Oasis to Nirvana. So what was the moment that solidified that you wanted to play music outside of school, like start a band and throw down with some punk?
I think is when I started listening to Hole.
Okay.
When I started listening to Hole and started listening to Bikini Kill and Babes in Toyland, I think was the band that did it, actually. Babes in Toyland. I was like, God, it feels so like that would feel so good to just fucking like scream my head off, shout my head off.
Yeah.
And just like make some noise, play guitar. And my uncle had a classical guitar that he let me borrow, and I lost it. I don't know what I did with it.
Whoops.
Whoops. And then, I think at that point, seeing women get up and be ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sing ugly and just be ragey was so inspiring, because I felt
instead
that
of being on stage, being as pretty as they can and being taking up as little space as they can.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was like, I need to do that because I am always mad. I'm always like, my brain is always chaotic. I need to get this out. I think I posted I know I did. I posted a listing, like an ad saying I was looking for bandmates and these are my influences, and really into Sonic Youth, really into Babes in Toyland and Bikini Kill Hole. And I met this guy, Alex. So I posted at the record store, Record Convergence near me. Alex responded to it, and Alex was friends with Megan from a band called Princess in Northern Virginia. So Princess was an all-girl punk band. They were my age too, and Alex was like, "You got to meet Megan. You got to go see Princess."
Were you still in high school at this point?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
This was my junior year of high school, I think, sophomore or junior. I can't remember. So my friend Mary and I went to see Princess, and I was like, "I'm going to be in that band." I don't know. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I was like, I'm going to be in that band. And sure enough, like I stalked their drummer at my friend Amy. She worked at a coffee shop in the mall, and I awkwardly introduced myself to her because I didn't know how to socialize with people. I just awkwardly introduced myself to her, and then I heard that they needed a new guitar player. The guitar player quit. And so I auditioned. I met Megan. Alex introduced me to Megan, bass player. And yeah, I joined the band. That was like probably the best experience I've had playing with other musicians, just being with them.
Yeah. How long were you guys together?
So we played, that must have been 97 or 98 when I joined, junior year. And then we quickly dissolved after we all went to college. Mm-hmm. I want to say like maybe 1 or 2 years after we started college, because everybody had moved away. Our drummer, she was in other bands and she wanted to go in a different direction. And I was really flaky. I had a boyfriend, and like he was my world, and I like got lazy about everything else. And so we broke up. It's really sad. But then we reunited. We reunited twice. We reunited maybe like 5 years after that, I think. Mm-hmm. After we grew up a little bit. And we played a show at Warehouse Next Door in DC, and it was packed. And then we did another reunion 2 years ago, two summers ago. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. I flew back to DC. Sadly, our other guitar player she had died by suicide. Oh. So she couldn't join us. Yeah. But, and then I was like, I gotta play with these women again. And so, when my label, I'm on a small label, from the East Coast called Exotic Fever, run by this woman named Katie Otto. She's an amazing, amazing woman. I could go on and on about her, but I'll save that for another time. But the label turned 25 this year and had their anniversary show. So I booked a tour around that earlier this year, and I got my ex-Princess bandmates to play in Star Matriarch for that.
Yeah. And
it was amazing.
That's huge.
And I'm actually still kind of grieving the fact that they're there and I'm here and we can't play together. Yeah. But yeah, that's Princess.
That's Princess.
Yeah.
And at some point, you made some recordings.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming they were not professional recordings. They don't sound professional.
They're definitely very old and unmastered, not mastered for the time.
Right. Yeah. But at some point they were uploaded to Bandcamp, and they're there now. And you can go,
Megan uploaded them.
Yeah, you can go listen to them. You can download them. You can buy them. And I suggest that our listeners do, because it's a cool little time capsule of like some late 90s, teen punk, Riot Girl stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So we did record professionally, but the upload, so they were cassette and 7-inch. Mm-hmm. So I think in the process of uploading to Bandcamp, there was a lot of loss in data, and we didn't get it remastered. And we were trying to upload it in time for our reunion show. So Megan just like kind of did it really quick. So that's why the quality's that's why you hear what you hear on Bandcamp.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. It's underground. We
were so good. I love these recordings so much.
Yeah. And actually I did look as part of my research, and there is a 7-inch and cassette, I believe. They exist on Discogs. So if anybody
cool. Yeah,
wants to track those down.
I was not on the cassette. I was on the 7-inch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the
Poultry Sessions was the cassette. That was the
first one.
And the 7-inch was Ripping Your Heart Out, because we were trying to go darker.
Okay.
That was so much fun, though. Like I didn't know anybody else who liked Babes in Toyland as much as I did, who liked Babes in Toyland and Tori Amos as much as I did, both.
That's a cross section. Those people exist.
Yeah. And that's what I found in Princess. Mm-hmm. And like the way Amy drums, like she's so badass. Anyway, yeah, I am. Like I said, I'm still grieving the fact that they're there and I'm here.
Well, it happened. It was beautiful,
Yeah.
and you have memories, and there's recordings too.
Yep.
So, and then you did some solo music.
Hmm.
So, where is This Is How I Recover? Because I can't find that. I actually found some. There's a few copies of the CD for sale on Discogs, and I'm very close to pulling the trigger on it.
I actually have a few on hand, but I don't have a desire to reprint it. I mean, I should be proud of it. And I am.
Was that the first thing you did after
The
Princess?
very first record I'd made.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm very proud of the work, but like, it's a lot of teenager, like unhealed trauma stuff that I'm kind of embarrassed about. Like I have a song on there called A Virgin's Anthem, and it's cringy for me. I haven't healed enough to not like be okay with it being out in the public.
That's fair.
I'll share it with you. With you.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm proud of the guitar work on there. I was really, yeah.
Okay, well now I really want to hear it.
Yeah.
So then there's another album that is on streaming, and I've listened to it several times. It's called
Everyone Wore White.
Everyone Wore White.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That was another solo venture?
Yep.
More
Under
or less?
Carol Bowie. Yep. And the making of that record was very melodramatic. Lots of drama in the studio at Inner Ear. But I'm very proud of that record. Very proud of that record. Yeah, and then actually Red Ship, an original version of Red Ship, 3 years after everyone... Was it 3 years? Yeah, 3 years after Everyone Wore White came out. So Everyone Wore White came out on a small label based in Michigan called 5440 or Fight. I wasn't too happy with how they did that, how they worked that record. So I decided to put out Red Ship by myself. In retrospect, that was a really dumb idea because I was burnt out. But yeah, Red Ship came out 2011, and I was inspired by Arabic music. I had just started dancing. I was tired of like the white indie rock stuff
there is a clear shift between those two albums. Now, I haven't listened to the original version of Red Ship.
That's because I pulled it down. I don't want anybody to hear it.
Oh, well, okay. You're going to have to let me hear it at some point.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, I have it somewhere, but I would rather people hear the latest iteration of Red Ship.
I get it. You're George Lucasing it. It's okay. You're allowed to do that with your art.
Mm-hmm.
But the shift that I hear from Everyone Wore White to Red Ship is the earlier. It sounded there was like a lot of heart in there, like the band Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like huge Heart influence. I hear it. I don't know if it's there or if I'm just
it is. It is. Yeah, okay. I love Heart.
Like in like those big like kind of blues inspired guitars and really strong vocals. It really brought that to mind. Red Ship sounds, I mean, to my basic white ass, it sounds
so
like, foreign. It sounds like something that I don't hear all the time because, it's like you said, it's not what is the mainstream pop, the scales and the melodies used in some of the rhythms. I'm drawing a blank on what song it is right now, but one of the songs where it starts with the drums on Red Ship. And that beat is like, I try to wrap my head around it, and I'm like, that's not, I mean, there is not a backbeat. It's not like a four on the floor. It is very, very...
So before we're vaporized,
yes.
Actually, that beat I stole from a band called Aloha. That's one of the few, that was one of the few songs I didn't appropriate from North African music quite as much. That one I stole, that I was inspired by a band called Aloha, a song called Balling Phase. Anyway, yeah, I was trying to be mathy and clever too.
You were more clever than me.
It's not a contest.
Okay. So what's the backstory of Star Matriarch? When the Red Ship was first made, the first time around, were you still going just under your name?
Yeah, I was just still going under Carol Bowie, and at the time, so those songs were written a lot about my experience as a sex worker. And when I was writing that record, I was excited and empowered by my work, by the work I was doing as a sex worker, but I didn't feel safe enough to like tell the world that they were about my personal experiences, that I am a sex worker. There was a lot of shame, a lot of like, and also fear of like getting in legit trouble and, and so when I put that out, I was trying to, I think from a PR standpoint, I was like, yeah, these are fantasies. And it just didn't feel right. And it also didn't land very well. And so that's why I decided to redo it. That, and because, I was very inspired by all the North African Egyptian music I was listening to. I had also started studying belly dance, what we call belly dance, really a lot of like North African Levant folkloric dances that are made to be more theatrical. Is really what it is. And I was really taking from a lot of that music I was listening to, but not in a very respectful way. I was trying to capitalize on the whole, like, well, this is good. This is exotic. Like white men will love it. They'll be so mesmerized by it.
Romanticizing or fetishizing it.
Exactly. I was really, really thinking about that and trying to capitalize on that. Was I genuinely inspired? Of course. But I was like, well, how can I make this blow up?
Yeah.
And so that's another reason why I felt like I needed to redo Red Ship, because I needed to de-orientalize it so much. I needed to strip it down some so that it's really about what I'm trying to say. It's really about what I want people to feel when I hear it, rather than trying to make it sexy and like appealing to, white men who have yellow fever or something. Yeah. And also it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel good to put that out. So yeah, that's why I redid it. But yeah, so Star Matriarch really, the band name especially came about because I was feeling like, I'm so inspired by raising my kids. I started singing again really when my kids were born. Because obviously, you like try to lull them to sleep to get them to calm down and everything. And then I was like, I don't want to stop singing. I want to keep singing. I want to sing all the time. I want to write. And then lockdown hit and I was like, this is my time to start writing again, play again. And I was like, well, the easiest way for me to get back into it is to rework Red Ship, because I'm so proud of it, but I'm also not proud of these parts of it. Yeah. Right. And also like, so I was feeling like there's a lot of power in my role as a mother, as a caregiver. And I don't particularly feel like mother as in like a gendered mother, if that makes any sense, but more like just the feeling like I'm creating something and nurturing, and I think about how much the world relies on the work of mothering.
Yeah.
And of course, and then I realized, oh, well, people have talked about this. There's like books written about it, about the invisible labor of mothering and how it's like totally exploited. It's like, people expect it for free. And then I also learned, well, there are a lot of societies pre-colonization that were matrilineal, or you can even call them a matriarchy, including Vietnam, my lineage. And I was like, it's so weird because growing up, I kind of blame my mother for a lot of the internalized patriarchal beliefs that I had, which really isn't fair. That's another conversation. That's not her fault. And so learning that about my lineage, that like prior to Chinese colonization, it was very matrilineal. Women had a lot more power, more say, and like finding this common thread that in a lot of indigenous communities were historically matrilineal. I'm like, why is our power being taken away?
Right. Yeah.
And then like contrasting that to like how mothers are treated here, how little support we get because, well, we're very individualistic now. We don't have villages anymore. It's not, everybody has to fend for themselves and we lost our villages. And so I'm constantly burnt out. I'm doing all this important work, but I'm not well supported. Fuck that. And then coming back into the music space and seeing, like, really taking in this narrative that, oh, mothers, what are you doing? Why aren't you home with the kids? Why are you out trying to play shows? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you. I deserve this as much as their dad or any parent. And this is like, I need this too. So that's where Star Matriarch came from. I still find it kind of hard navigating just music right now as a mom. Well, for practical reasons, because I'm just tired all the time. I don't have the time to go out, and I would love to connect with other bands more, go to shows more. I just don't have the time and energy. Like, I'm dead tired.
Yeah.
And yet I need to make music and sing and play so bad. And then I still finding, like, when I say, oh, I can't play the show on a Tuesday night because I won't have childcare or whatever, and then feeling like people roll their eyes at me,
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Without mothers, you wouldn't be out here playing music, so shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Yeah. Obviously, not a mom myself, but a very involved and hands-on dad.
Yeah.
I totally relate, and I understand.
I listened to your Father's Day episode. I loved it so much. It was so beautiful.
That was such a labor of love. What has been some of your favorite experiences so far, just in your musical career? I know you said that the Princess years were just phenomenal and everything, but I mean, you've done a lot since. I mean, you've been from here and toured East Coast. You've played showcases here. I mean, what are some really, really standout moments here?
Some, like, here, literally in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Or even not even involving, like, you playing specifically, just anything about the scene or about you and your role in it.
So I want to say like my favorite shows that I've played here in the Pacific Northwest so far have been, one was a house show at Gravel Pit. It was just outside.
Yeah.
There was a fire pit going, so my voice sounded like shit. But it just felt so good. Like, being neurodivergent, like, I struggle a lot with the sensory aspects of playing in, like, big club or whatever. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it still, but I have to provide a lot of accommodations for myself to make it, to not get so, like, disoriented and just out of, but Gravel Pit, it was just like, it was I can't remember what it was a benefit for. Oh, it was a benefit for the national parks.
That's right. That was just earlier this year.
Yeah.
I can't remember why I couldn't make it to that one, but I've been trying to get to the Gravel Pit for a while, and I just haven't been able to make it happen yet.
Shane and Shannon are just really great people. I love house shows, period. I just love the vibe. I love how, like, stripped down as in, like, how little I have to mask.
Right. Yeah, there's less expectation. There's, like, nobody's really as concerned about the time or the making sure the sound is exactly right. And it's you're there and you just do the thing.
I mean, it doesn't sound like I probably don't sound like I struggle with the social interactions. Well, also because you're cool. I feel comfortable interacting with you.
You're too kind.
You're a fellow weird guy.
I'm a fellow neurospicy individual.
Weirdo.
So yes.
Nerd. Yeah. But, like, so I struggle with social interactions, and like, clubs feel like I have in a club setting or like a more real venue. And even like a bar, I feel a lot more pressure to be normal. Even though I tell myself, fuck it, who cares? It's still like, but a house show, something about a house show just means I can be a little more vulnerable. I can be, and even if I'm not socially interacting, having conversations with people, I'm in their vicinity. I still feel like I'm part of a community. I still, like, I'm part of something, you know.
Yeah.
It feels good. It just feels good. Like, so Gravel Pit was a lot of fun. That show was a lot of fun. I loved playing the Grit City Punk show last month. It was so much fun. And I just loved that I could bring my kid, and my spouse came, and like both your kids were there, and like Liability played. Mitch and his kid are like,
yeah, it was a family affair.
It was a family affair. Thea and her dad came.
Yeah.
And it was I just loved that so much. It was so beautiful. Like, I was able to mosh with my kid watching the other bands. And
it was a multi-generational punk show.
Yeah. But it wasn't loud and overwhelming. I mean, it wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't stuffy and like in a big venue. It was in a pizza place. You sit down, have pizza with your friends and family, enjoy good bands.
Yeah.
And it just felt so good.
Yeah, really, and you played your fucking ass off at that show.
Thank you.
Correct me if I'm not pronouncing this right, but Milai to Rafa? Is that
Milai to Rafa.
Milai.
Yeah.
Okay, to Rafa. That song, when you played that song at Slice of Life, like literal chills, like paresthesia. I was affected.
Thank you. That means a lot to hear that. Because I feel like, because that's also a song that I wrote about, ancestral trauma, feeling really triggered by. Of course, everybody's triggered by what's going on in Palestine right now, but it's an especially personal song to me, and it's also one of the songs I wrote in the last few years after coming back to music. Because I took like that long 10-year break from music and coming back, and when I first let people hear that song, I didn't get quite a strong response. Like my mixing engineer wasn't crazy about it. My label was like, "Oh, that's cool." Whereas the other song, she was like, "Oh, this is awesome." And so I had, I felt really strongly about that song, which is why I put it out, as its own single too. But I just felt like it was kind of getting lost. Like it's not, Carol's getting older, so she's writing slower stuff, and it's not as, whatever. So I was getting this like some kind of complex about it. So it means a lot to hear you say that.
Lyrically and subject wise, I mean, that is a standout on the album just because it is so blunt and just so, straight to the point. Fuck your colonial whatevers. I can't remember the exact line.
I said, fuck your canonical works of whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because I can't just say fuck white supremacy, fuck Eurocentrism. I have to say,
you can, but yeah. But yeah, you're saying, more. But yeah, I mean, that's a strong statement on the record, but I feel like performed live, at least at that specific, because I didn't get that reaction at the Spanish Ballroom, not as much, but specifically and it was probably because it was a smaller, more intimate setting. Mm-hmm. And I think the weight of that song was so much more present.
Yeah. You're
working on new stuff. What's inspiring you now? Now that you've exercised the red ship, that was something that you, I understand that, because also like, I'm trying to get back into creating music and performing music after like a 20-year break. But I'm finding now that I'm finding different meanings and different relationships to those songs. And I'm trying to kind of reimagine and revisit some of those songs. And I felt like for a long time that was a hurdle that I had to get past before I could start making new stuff.
Yes.
So like, and I
totally hear you on that.
Yeah. And so like, I put out an EP last year called New Year, Old Me. And I feel like that was 4 songs that were really old that I recorded brand new, like with new arrangements, but it was still the same song. And I feel like that was part of exercising that. And I think for you, the Red Ship, like redoing that is kind of exercising that, getting over that hurdles. Now you have a clean slate.
I don't know if I would say I have a clean slate. I totally feel you on the whole, like not relating to it. And then maybe like revisiting it and then finding new angles or new perspectives with it. Mm-hmm. There's this one song from Everyone Wore White, my previous record, from the record before Red Ship V1, called Rockville, and it's about something really traumatic that happened between me and my mom. And I had played that song. Like, I used to tour for like weeks at a time when I was in my 20s, when I lived in DC and everything. I'd play that song night after night, and it felt good. It felt empowering. And then I started playing again when I went back to DC to practice it with Megan and Amy. Like, I got choked up. I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting choked up now. And then I realized I had to do some healing work on my own, like just really think about, what was really stopping me from letting myself like really sing it out. And of course, I played it. I've been playing it. But and then I also like play the guitar part a little differently now because it hits different. And then now I have a new appreciation for that song. It's one of my favorite songs to play, but it gives me a different feeling of elation when I sing it. It feels more like before there was like a resentment that I had when I ever sang it. Now it's more like a loving assertion, I guess, when I sing it.
Yeah.
And like,
kind of like how you can view when you're younger, you might have some resentment towards people. But then as you grow older and you look back and you can find that you appreciate those people for different reasons.
Yeah.
And you kind of understand more, like, from their point of view, what their perspective was.
Absolutely.
And you kind of have to reassess your own, like, well, why did I feel like that at that time?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's kind of what I was going through with that song. Whereas like what's harder now, I feel like is, and this kind of goes back to the whole interconnectedness thing in a way. I've learned that both my experiences, her experiences are valid, and then, that song in particular is also about intergenerational trauma because of imperialism, right? U.S. imperialism, which I didn't really fully appreciate at the time. Now, that has helped me to look at both myself and my mom in a really loving way. Like, yes, but still holding space for that pain I felt that her, like I'm not saying, well, I'm not telling myself, oh, well, I shouldn't be feeling, upset or resentful or, hurt from what happened.
It's the understanding that that there's a reason for what happened.
Yeah. It's like, and it's a weird, like, but at the same time, and I think the reason why I had, in that song in particular, I had such a hard time practicing with it again with Amy and Megan is because it's now, like, in my head, I do have something to blame, and that's systemic oppression, that's imperialism, and that's a harder target. It's so much easier to be angry at my mom than it is to be angry at something you have so little control over.
Right.
And so what I've chosen to do is like look at that with like a more loving lens for all of us, right? And that feels so much more empowering when I play that song. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like exactly or like similar to what your feelings are about Euro music, but
it's not. But I mean, no, I mean because I don't know. I mean, totally different circumstances. But no, I mean it's the same kind of reassessing things as you get older.
Reframing, reassessing.
Yeah, and reclaiming. Yeah, reclaiming, your past.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And realizing that what happened in the past. It happened. You could be mad about it, and you could be resentful about it, or you could just acknowledge that it happened for reasons, whatever the reasons are. It happened. But now it's this. It doesn't have to always be that. Now we're here.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like, I don't want to step into murky waters here, but I feel like that's kind of a reassessment and revelation that we as a society and a culture kind of need to learn too, is that
Yeah.
yes, bad things happen in the past to a lot of people, but we're all here now.
How do we make it right?
How do we make it
things-
right for the
Yep.
people here now and the people that we are raising? How do we make it right for our kids so our kids don't have to suffer the same bullshit
Yeah.
that we or our parents or our grandparents, ancestors, whatever faced? Like, how do we make it better from here? Not from there, not placing blame, because there's a lot of blame to go around, but like, how do we take it from here and just move forward?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing we can do about the past.
Right. It's hard to, so I don't like I said the word blame, like blaming systemic oppression, imperialism for it. But it's like, it's also about, well, it is a cause, a legit cause, identifying legit cause and how we can take power from that.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a matter of, oh, I'm going to put my finger because it feels good to just blame somebody and just, assign fault. It's also about problem solving.
Right.
Okay, so how do we lessen the damage and the harm?
Yeah.
We got to look at this imperialism stuff.
Yeah.
We got to look at this white supremacy stuff and really, really interrogate it, and so on. But yeah, like you also need to look at what's here now, right? Like you were saying.
The most good that you can do towards that is raising your kids to have ideals and an understanding of the systemic oppression and the misogyny and the colonialization, and teach them to look at that with a critical eye, but also recognize that we're all here now. So we need to take care of each other because we're all we've got, and we're all in the same boat because this boat's sinking, and we need to all look out for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I just remembered another piece to that. What does punk mean to me? Because you touched on raising good humans, like raising your kids to, and me personally, part of that is really learning to be in my body, like really learning to be aware of my feelings and my sensations and what I'm experiencing with all my senses. And compliance culture is so huge in schools and in parenting. That is like I feel like that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why we're not angrier and we're not more violent in our resistance. Yeah. Not that we should be, and I'm not saying we need to be violent. I'm not advocating for it. I think it's inevitable, but I mean, I think it's the reason why people are okay with, looking the other way when your neighbor gets deported, and saying, oh, well, that sucks, but I can't do anything about it. You're not like clearly I know people are moved, but there's something taken away from their humanity.
It's a complacency.
It's not complacency. I don't want to say it's just complacency. It's like, because your nervous system has been trained to feel that compliance is safe. Does that make sense? So people
not wanting to rock the boat.
Yeah, because you're trained to always listen, you wait till after class is over to go to the bathroom. Forget, who cares about needing to pee right now? You need to sit still at this desk for 6 hours. You need to comply.
Yeah.
From the time they're really little to whatever, you need to follow this meritocracy bullshit and really, train your body to conform to these expectations. You're not allowed to talk back. Don't you dare talk back. You be a good little boy or little girl, or
Spoiler alert, that shit didn't work for me very well.
Yeah.
Me and that were like,
it backfired.
It did not work for me too well. And, high school was not successful for me.
Same.
And I know this isn't everybody's experience, but I will say that my experience on the other end of it now, being a parent with kids who went through school, like it's better now, like so much better. At least in their particular school, it was.
I do see that. Yeah.
It's so much better. I mean, and not only that, but also like, I mean, it's baby steps, but like they learned a lot more like actual history than I ever did. Like when I was in high school, like Columbus still proved that the world was round, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't go much further than that. It was like, Columbus, went out to prove that the earth wasn't flat. And although he didn't make it all the way around the world, he discovered America. So, right. Yeah. And I mean, that I didn't buy into that shit. That didn't make any sense. There's too many holes in that story. But,
so I feel like, sorry to interrupt, but before this fleeting thought, this is that fleeting thought that I had that's fleeting came back. But like, so I feel like punk is more like you allow those feelings. You're in touch with those feelings. Like we were witnessing something that's not right. Those feelings are able to come up and activate you and get you to move. Right. Versus somebody who is like, oh no, it's not, no, I shouldn't rock the boat. No. Yeah. Like, 1940s Germany,
Yeah. I mean,
so,
the most punk thing you can do is to call out bullshit when you see it.
Yeah. Listen to your instincts. Allow those instincts to really, guide you. So that's why I think, that's why I had to include that in my long ass definition of what is punk.
Yeah. Which probably is on record for being the longest, what is punk segment. But I stand by it. I have
to be precise in my answers. I'm not okay with just like glossing over the important details. That's an important detail to me.
No. So what genre is Star Matriarch? What genre of music
I don't fucking know. I have been just saying like alt rock or indie rock. Mm-hmm. Some songs have a post-punk vibe. And then somebody suggested, I think it was Chaz from Stormboy. I was talking to him and he was like, you should, these are some other like org-core bands that you should get with. Like I was like, wait, is he trying to say that I'm org-core? And I had to like look that up. And do you know what org-core is? From what I read, it started off in like a Reddit forum or something like that, in a Reddit thread, and it basically describes like bands that punknews.org like to elevate, like to talk about. And then further down, it's also like like socially conscious lyrics that have over musical structures that aren't so straightforward, or something like that. I don't know. And then I just got really confused. I was like,
damn it, Chaz.
What the fuck does it even sound? It's supposed to sound like? And then he said it's like for children of Woody Guthrie, and I was like, okay, that still doesn't.
Okay.
I mean,
like
content-wise, that makes sense to me,
sure.
But musically, aesthetically, like I still don't understand it. But I don't fucking know. I don't know what my genre is. I know it's just like, the broad genre would probably be rock and pop,
Yeah.
Rock and pop. Just like any other.
There's this guy, his name is Damian Abraham, vocalist for a band called Fucked Up. He does a podcast called Turned Out a Punk. And his thing is he always interviews a lot of punk musicians, but then he also interviews like actors or comedians that have like roots in the punk scenes.
Yeah.
So like he did like a whole series where he interviewed all the most of the cast from Kids in the Hall.
Oh, cool.
And, yeah. Okay. So see, that. Okay.
I wasn't a big fan. Like I didn't watch them, but I know of them. Yeah.
Okay. And so his big thing is like, he can listen to a song or a band and say, okay, well, this isn't punk, but by listening to this, you can tell that punk happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it kind of expanding on post-punk, which I think definitely you fall under that umbrella.
Thank you. That offers clarity.
I don't know what org-core is. And I mean, Chaz, you better explain that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow. Okay. So my next question was, how has motherhood changed your views on art and politics? But boy, we already covered that,
Yeah,
didn't we? I love that.
pretty radically for me.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "You're going to be so much more conservative when you have kids," and now I'm
Oh
more like, I'm
no.
like, fuck borders. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. A few people have asked me, like, and I used to ask people on the podcast. I don't really do it anymore, but like, what radicalized you? And like, whenever somebody has asked me that, it's like, having kids radicalized
yep,
me.
mm-hmm.
Because I mean, when you're young and you're rebellious, like you're only just like, hey, I don't like what's going on. Fuck you.
Yep.
And it's just that. But then when you have kids and you were raising kids and you realize that, whoa, this is fucked up. Not only fuck you, but really fuck this and this and this.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to figure out a way to fix this. And
100%. Yep. Mm-hmm. I am so with you on that. Yep. That's what radicalized me, motherhood.
Yeah. That and Greta Thunberg's address to the United Nations.
Yeah.
That fucking thing made me cry so hard when the first time I heard it.
And she's just spot on. We like the previous generations have totally been fucking it up for the younger generations. Yeah. But you know what? Like younger generations are so inspiring. Like I see them. I watch my kids. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to teach my kids to be like the biggest assholes ever. Like, no, I don't want to do that right now. Okay, don't do that right now. That kind of thing. And but I watch young kids and they're so like this. They're so passionate and so aware, and they have so much, like with social media, they have so many resources, so many ways to share information and take in information and connect.
Yeah, and so much more socially aware and conscious than in our generation. Because I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, I remember Rock the Vote, and sure, L7 always made some great points on stage and shit, and like, Rage Against the Machine happened, and it's like you kind of understand that. Okay, yeah, there's they're saying specific things, and yeah, I understand that. Sure, kind of. Yeah, I didn't, but I thought I did.
Same. And I love Rage Against the Machine, but I didn't appreciate them fully until after motherhood.
Right. Yeah. But like kids now are so much more aware of the bigger picture of what's going on, and realizing that, it's up to them to fix it, because, the previous generations didn't give a shit. They don't give a shit anymore. And us Gen Xers and, older millennials were like, I mean, we're trying. What can we do? Our hands are
We're trying, but we're burnt out.
Yeah,
we're tired.
Exactly. Because we grew up, we had, just like one disaster after another hindering us from what we were promised. Like when we grew up, like the American dream was still promised to us. Like, that is, you work hard, you do what you're told, and you will succeed. And then by the time we got out of high school, like that wasn't the case anymore. Like I worked my ass off, but I'm still working my ass off. But, it's like, it's a struggle every fucking day. The American dream was promised and then pulled out from under us. Whereas the kids now, they're growing up knowing that the American dream is a sham.
They watched us. They've watched us.
So there's no illusion anymore. So they're not buying into the bullshit. They know that they're gonna have to do something about it.
Yeah.
So they have a leg up on us over that. So
they totally do. And so I'm not scared for the future because of them. Like, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. And my new songs are about the shit that's going on with ICE and everything in the context of motherhood and, and all that. But ultimately, like, I've really embraced revolutionary optimism. Mm-hmm. The idea of like, really actively following through, knowing that the arc always bends back to justice and to justice and survival and people thriving. And I see young people and I like, it's so much easier to hold on to that revolutionary optimism when I watch them. It's like, they're going to make sure they get what they need. Yeah. They're going to make sure that the earth survives. I mean, the earth will survive no matter what, but that,
we can survive
we'll survive with the earth.
I mean, what gives me, I try to be as optimistic as I can. And I think I'm optimistic presenting, but kind of realistically pessimistic on the
Well,
inside.
let me explain the revolutionary optimism part.
No,
And
I understand. I'm just saying from like my point of view, like I try to like, exude the optimism. That's the dad in me saying, no, everything's good, everything's okay, everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna work out, we're gonna get through it. While on the inside, I'm like,
well, I hear you, but the way I see optimism, revolutionary optimism, is that I know things are going to go down, but things that are going to go down are the things that need to go down.
Yeah.
I'm like empire's going to fall, and it's going to be really scary, and a lot of people are going to be hurt and lost, but in the end, we're going to prevail.
I mean, the gerontocracy that is terrorizing us right now. I mean, they're all going to die. I mean, they're going to die. That generation, the generation of billionaires and oligarchy that exists right now, they're on their way out. That's why they're so frantic.
They know it.
Grasp at everything they can because they know they're dying.
Yep.
They're on their way out. When they're
they
gone,
have their compounds already.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is buying out Hawaii.
Yeah.
Fucking hideout. Yep. They all know it.
But when they're gone, which I mean, it's not going to be too long. They're going to be gone. Then what's left?
Yeah.
There's a vacuum. But I think the upcoming generation is smart enough and strong enough to be able to, pick it up and make something work better than what has worked before.
Yep.
And on that note, let's be optimistic, guys. So
that's totally optimistic to me. That's like, I look forward to the day when the young people now are going to be in power.
Yeah. Have you seen some of the young people running for Congress and stuff? I mean, they got some fire in them.
To be honest, I haven't been paying attention to the congressional races. I do see Mamdani. I have been paying attention to him, but I haven't been paying attention to the other races.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch too closely outside of just local shit, which even that I don't watch too closely. But no, just every once in a while, or just or come across a news story about somebody, or see somebody on social media, whatever. I'm like, holy shit, that is a person that needs to be in office, And they're getting there.
Yeah,
they're getting there.
I look forward to it.
Me too, because I'm going to be retired someday, hopefully.
Yep.
And
you deserve to. Put in your dues, Jeremy.
Yeah,
your dues.
My kids deserve to retire at some point too. Hopefully earlier and better than I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's part of the American dream myth too, was that your kids are going to be better off than you. And for a lot of like maybe 3 generations, that was true.
Yeah.
And then it was Generation X that was like, that's the first generation where it's like, no, you're not going to be better off than your parents were. You are not going to be able to buy a house like your parents did. You are not going to save up for retirement. You're not going to be able to go on vacations like your parents did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have kids, and it's like, well, good luck to you. But,
that's why. So many are still living with parents. As if there's more multi-generational households now.
Yeah. And you know what? And I think it doesn't sound like a good thing, but I think that ultimately is, because
I think so.
Until recently, until modern 20th century Western culture, prior to that, and in most other non-Western places in the world, you do live in multi-generational houses. Your grandparents live with you. Your kids stay until they get married and have kids of their own, and sometimes even then they still stay. Both my kids live with me, and I love it. I know they're here, and I want them to stay here as long as they need to, and feel like they want to.
That's beautiful, because then you're taking care of each other. It is a community right there in your home. It's not. You're not. And they'll probably wipe your butt when you're a couple of decades. Yeah. You don't have to anyway. But no. I feel like that would be definitely be a bonus. And I remember growing up really resenting the idea that my parents didn't want me to leave the house for college. They wanted me to stay local. And I was like, fuck you, I'm an American now. I'm going to go live on my own, blah, blah, blah. And of course, now as a mother, I'm grieving that loss of community. I'm the loss of my extended family. It's not, everybody's off doing their own thing, having to survive to chase the American dream. Yeah. And there's a lot of, I know I'm struggling with a lot of like internalized capitalism, like feeling like I have to work hard to prove my worth constantly, and not have time to care, or not just not care, but like to really engage with my community, with my family. It's just, we're forced to be too burnt out.
Yeah.
And isolated. It sucks. I don't like it. I'm grieving that.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it either, but
So I love that.
I feel like this is helping.
Yeah, I love the idea of multi-generational households. I have a wholly different appreciation for that now. Yeah. I think that needs to be better supported here.
100%. Yeah. All right, Carol. Well, what's next? You said you're working on music. Do you have any immediate plans, or is it still all just kind of incubating?
It's still incubating because so right now, over the last weekend, my husband tore his knee. So I was gonna spend the second half of September writing. So it's hard to see. Like, it depends on how mobile he'll be, because then that would also mean like how much of the parenting I'm going to have to do, like how much double duty I'll be pulling, right. But I have a piece that I'm writing right now about, so I'm going to put in a content warning, just say here's some traumatic, potentially traumatic content. Jeremy, I trust you're up for it.
Yeah.
So a couple months ago, I was just scrolling through Instagram, and, first I saw this post that was about photographers people trying to decide who has photo credit for that Napalm Girl picture. Do you know about that picture? It's a picture from the time of, that's okay. Picture from the time of the Vietnam War of this young girl.
Okay, I know the picture. Yeah.
Age. She's naked. Yeah. She's there, yeah. You can look it up.
Yeah.
And it was a post about that, about the anniversary of that picture. It was like because it was this year is the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. Yeah. So I saw that post about, well, who gets photo credit for this? And I'm just like, fuck you all. And then I see a post about, the population of, those who perished in Gaza, about the kids, and it was a post talking about how there's a certain age group that is the most vulnerable because, one, they're too big to be carried by their parents, and two, they're too young to run fast enough from IDF, right? And I was thinking about, so for as long as I can remember since becoming a parent, I've been obsessed with trying to stay fit so that I can carry my kids and chase them. I get so stressed out going to the playground with both of them because I worry that I'm not going to be able to catch them in time. Mm-hmm. And I had always thought that, you know what, the autism diagnosis helped. Okay. I'm struggling with sensory, being overstimulated. That's why I get so anxious having to, oversee these two kids and making sure they're safe and they don't die, Yeah. But there's also this ancestral trauma piece that I'm learning more about with my, talking to my family when I was on my trip, my tour, about my grandmother making the decision to send some of her kids across the ocean by boat because it just wasn't safe at home. And thinking about, talking with my aunt about how life in war-torn Vietnam was, the fears that my grandmother had about keeping my aunts and uncles safe. And then here, I'm like, I'm not in Palestine. Why am I feeling this? interrogating this. Why am I feeling this? And then I hear about, the federal takeover of DC, and, and I'm hearing about all these folks being detained by ICE, even citizens, right? And, I'm like, I need to lean into my able-bodiedness in case I need to carry both my kids away and to keep them safe somehow. So that's the song I'm writing about right now. That's the song I'm writing right now. And it's about that, I have this conversation with myself. I'm like, don't I want to write something that's empowering, that's that'll give people hope? But right now I'm really stuck on this. I'm stuck on trying to work through this anxiety. Like, I have to remind myself, I'm right here. I'm safe, physically safe. My kids are right here in front of me. I'm okay. I don't need to be at attention all the time. But the truth of the matter is I am.
Yeah.
And so this song that I'm working on is my way of working through that. But yeah, seeing that, I just remember that day, seeing those two posts back to back. And I was not functional for like a good 48 hours. Mm-hmm. Like, this is, cause that girl in the napalm girl photo, that girl, she was like 7 or 8. That's how old my daughter is right now, my oldest. And it's just, yeah. But yeah, that's what the song's about. And there's going to be more of that sort of thing.
Art is supposed to be a reflection of your reality or of the world around you as you see it. You internalizing all of this. I'm learning that that's not like a common trait amongst humanity, unfortunately. But it certainly is for the more autistically segmented of people. Empathy runs high.
Yeah.
Anxiety is high.
Basically, but what I'm leaning into, like, you know what? That's just it just shows my commitment to survive and to take care of them, make sure they're safe and they thrive no matter what the cost, know. So that's what I'm holding on to.
Yeah. We'll keep holding on to it because it's worth keeping. So Carol, we're going to go ahead and end this now.
Yeah.
We are a lot longer than usual.
I know. I was looking at the clock and I was like, I should see if my sister-in-law needs help with dinner.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Carol, for taking the time. I know you're really busy right now.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy, for all that you do for the local music scene and for your kids and for yourself. I'm so excited to hear your music, to see more of that, more of you playing music.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see and hear more music from you as well. Yeah. So with that, thank you very much. And we're signing off. Thank you, Carol. Again, I just want to say this has been a fantastic, one of my favorite interviews so far. Carol, just honestly, one of the greatest people in this scene right now. And it was an absolute pleasure to talk to her. And so now we're going to play a song from Star Matriarch. This is called Milai to Rafa.
Violent sky of our ancestors' grieving faces in a cloud of smoke and debris, helplessly watching their babies bleed, their bones dry beneath the floor, and the cries carried by a cinnamon haze, their bones embraced by the earth and the one. So we move, oh, the moon. Fuck your currency. Fuck your agents named after the rainbow. Fuck your technologies, your innovations. Fuck your Roman script, we have our own. Fuck your canonical works of whatever. Fuck your canonical works of whatever. Fuck your canonical works of whatever, 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 ever, 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 ever. From light to lava, we live in love harder than you ever know. From Sand Creek to lava, we live in love harder than you'll ever know. Batangas to lava, we live in love harder than you'll ever know. Port-au-Prince to lava, we live in love, live in love.
All right, kids, here we go. Time to start making plans for October. So I'm just going to run these down. This is by all means not a comprehensive concert calendar for the Northwest. These are just some flyers that came across my desk and I wanted to bring up. September 30th, Brainstem Productions presents Military Gun. Yes, Military Gun. Death Lens, Millie, Fell Off, and Land Lost at Real Art. Military Gun touring right now. This is bound to be a huge hardcore show happening on a Tuesday of all nights. This thing is probably already sold out. But if it's not, get your ass up there. See some hardcore on a Tuesday at Real Art. On Friday the 3rd is Give Me the Money, Gourd, Vanished, Septic, and Deadlifters at Lucky Liquor. Saturday the 4th is Shamebanger, Torch, and Hate Knife at the Mountain Room. Also on the 4th in Tacoma on McKinley Hill is the McKinley Hill Haunted Street Fair. Big spooky Halloween outdoor market and festival. There will be live music. There's going to be just a ton of stuff going on there. Lots of food. Seriously going to be a great time. Leia, who runs the market at Real Art, has put this whole thing together. I'll be there. It's going to be just an absolute great Halloween spooky festival fun-packed time. So be there if you're in Tacoma. That's from 1 to 9 on Saturday the 4th. The following week on the 9th at Real Art is Zaylee Hayes, Russian Blue, and Buddy Wincoop. The next day, the 10th, is South Park at Real Art, featuring Koala, Suture and Sew, Vanished, and She Only Exists Online. It's a South Park themed show, so I guess dress up like a South Park character. Just wear a hoodie. Maybe a beanie. On the 11th, at Lucky Liquor is Odachi, Primal Beast, Clear Nothing, The Circus in Your Town, and Bandit Spook. On the 12th, back at Real Art, Sunday the 12th, is Eight Alive, Good Grief, Deerheart, and Honeyed. In the extended forecast, Grit City Punk presents a Saturday matinee show to benefit Washington Immigration Solidarity Network at Slice of Life Pizza. That is on October 18th. It is an afternoon show on a Saturday. Good old-fashioned matinee shows. I love them. I'm trying to bring them back. I don't know why it doesn't happen more often, but I'm bringing it here to Slice of Life Pizza in Tacoma, Saturday afternoon, the 18th, featuring such bands as Deludo, Heelbite, and The Deception. Possibly more to be announced. Just announcing it here. It's actually a little premature to announce it fully. There you go. The entire show is benefiting Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network. So all ticket sales go to that. There will be a donation bucket on site. So we're really hoping to raise a lot of money for this great cause. I'll have more information for that next episode and on my socials. So keep an eye out for that. That's it. That's the show. Hope you had fun. I had fun. Thanks to all the bands that I featured, the bands that I saw over the weekend. Carol, again, I cannot express just how grateful I am to have interviewed you and you as a person as well. Thank you. And coming soon, more information about the Grit City Punk Saturday Matinee Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network benefit show. And until then, you know where to find me. I've told you my socials. I've told you the YouTube. I have told you the Bandcamp. You know all the things. Subscribe. Find my stuff everywhere. Check the link tree for all the links. All the bands featured on the show are in the link tree as well. So be sure to check them out, throw some money their way, listen to them, see them at shows, buy their merch. Tell your friends about it. That's the way these bands get traction. Tell your friends, buy their merch, go to shows. I just said all the same things, but in reverse order. Clearly, it's time to end the show. So in closing, I'm just going to say, take care of each other out there. Drink water. Fuck ICE. Fuck the president. Take care of your people. Take care of your community. And we're going to end things off with a song from Truancy. This is called What You Need.
This has been a Jiggle Down Productions production.
Truancy, got what you need. You feeling for a track, hit me up, what you need. I can bring you up, hit me up, what you need. You need a couple lines, hit me up, what you need. I got you anytime, hit me up, what you need. I thought getting dabs and a mass of plaques, a mass and racks. All for what you love is the dream. Truancy, got what you need. True indeed, truancy, got what you need. You feeling for a track, hit me up, what you need. I can bring you up, hit me up, what you need. You need a couple lines, hit me up, what you need. I got you anytime, hit me up, what you need. I thought getting dabs and a mass of plaques, a mass and racks. All for what you love is the dream. I've been with the business like Mickey Fitz, trying to keep my soul while getting rich. Once you in the system, ain't nobody listen. Staying out of jail has been a bitch. All I ever wanted was a moment. All I ever wanted was to hold it. All I ever wanted wasn't in the one I had broke up. I eloped with the showbiz. Never have I been more focused. I ain't getting roped into no more hoe shit. Saw the prognosis, and even though he knows he ghosted, reloaded for my coast and posted. You ain't supposed to give the best years of your life to somebody else, to somebody's wealth. Never a distraction in my sight. Ain't no more else, bitch, I do it myself. For once ain't fall into my MO. Did y'all not get the memo? He put music back in front of the P's like elemental. Take the status of my mental, put it into instrumentals. Instrumental to assemble the pinnacle with a pencil. Damage is dealt, can't believe you would blame anyone else. Pressure is hell, creating the jewels I be dropping. You already watching, just follow the trail. Got what you need, true indeed, truancy. Got what you need, you feeling for a track, hit me up, what you need. I'll bring you up, hit me up, what you need. You need a couple lines, hit me up, what you need. I got you anytime, hit me up, what you need. I thought getting dabs in a mass of plaques, a mass and racks. All for what you love is the dream. Truancy, got what you need. True indeed, truancy, got what you need. You feeling for a track, hit me up, what you need. I can bring you up, hit me up, what you need. You need a couple lines, hit me up, what you need. I got you anytime, hit me up, what you need. I thought getting dabs in a mass of plaques, a mass and racks. All for what you love is the dream. Used to have a backpack that I had to sell out. Now I got a few shows that I'm trying to sell out. Trapped in my ways, trying to get the hell out. Trapped in my head, trying to get the hell out. Long as we've been drinking, ain't a single thing sweet. Bet it still tastes better on the street. They some artisans, I promise some pistols, a fresh squeeze. Turn your little slice of heaven to Swiss cheese, believe me. Make new moves, why would he? Getting rent paid underneath street lights. In a black street light hoodie, making something out of nothing was all that I ever knew. Scraping residue and turn it to revenue. Resolute a veteran, I salute any them not getting a lot of loot and do what they gotta do. But I know at any time, one time come through. Put that to his noodle and turn him to chicken soup. Not me, mama, not me. I'm breaking down his bag like Muhammad Ali. I'm smoking that gas and I'm never on knees, so I take it to the head, then I ride it 16. When I said make hits or make them bricks disappear like Tetris, that was more than a line to me. Put it on blast when I blow past, everybody gon' see. I put everything I have in the world on me. Got what you need, true indeed, truancy. Got what you need, you feeling for a track, hit me up, what you need. I can bring you up, hit me up, what you need. You need a couple lines, hit me up, what you need. I got you anytime, hit me up, what you need. I thought getting dabs in a mass of plaques, a mass and racks. All for what you love is the dream. Truancy, got what you need. True indeed, truancy, got what you need. You feeling for a track, hit me up, what you need. I can bring you up, hit me up, what you need. You need a couple lines, hit me up, what you need. I got you anytime, hit me up, what you need. I thought getting dabs in a mass of plaques, a mass and racks. All for what you love is the dream. All for what you love is the dream. All for what you love is the dream. Got what you need, true indeed, truancy. Got what you need. Truancy, got what you need. True indeed, truancy. Got what you need. Truancy, got what you need. True indeed, truancy. Got what you need. Truancy, got what you need. True indeed, truancy. Got what you need.
And if you have it in you, can you record an intro for me?
Ah, shit.
You could do a couple takes.
What, like, just to introduce myself? Like, what would I say?
To introduce the podcast. I'm X from X, and this is Grit City Punk, or just whatever you want to do.
This is Carol of Star Matriarch, and you are listening to Grit City Punk.
Cool.
Is
You could do it again. Good? Yeah, it was good, but you could do it again too.
This is Carol of Star Matriarch, and you are listening to Grit City Punk.
All right. A little bit of swagger in that last one.
Is that better?
Cool.